It's after midnight, and it's time for conversations about love, family, friends, sex, and life. It's Love and Life with Carol Riddick and Donavan West, only on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. I am your host, Carol Riddick, and you know I'm always happy to spend some time with you, and I'm bringing you love from my alternating co-host, Donavan West, as always. You know how we do. Thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in, for spending some time with us. You know, we appreciate all of the love you give. I want to thank you all for the emails that you send us too, and the comments that you leave on our socials, because, I mean, we just love and we love you. And we thank you for doing all of it. So our guest tonight has explained to me, he said, listen, I got to run. So let's talk. Let's get some things in the open. You know, let's just share some things really quickly so I can keep it moving because, you know, my time is money. No, he didn't say all of that. I'm just teasing. In any event, I want to introduce you to someone who is so fly. It's in his name. He's a designer who has worked with, I'll tell you this. He's worked with celebrities such as Mano, Doja Cat, and Post Malone, to name just a few. He's also worked with the Recording Academy. Those of you who refer to it as the Grammys do so erroneously, but he's also worked with the Recording Academy. Family, I am welcoming you to get to know Javon Williams, aka MUGZY MCFLY. Hey, MUGZY.
Wow, what an intro. I wasn't even certain it was for me. I'm like, wow, what's coming? And it was me. I'm like, oh.
It's all you. It's all you. It's all you.
It's just me.
It's just you. What?
That was amazing. I enjoyed that.
Well, I'm so glad you liked it. I'm so glad. I mean, you know, that's what we do here. So in case you are unaware, we like to talk about things unapologetically and transparently, and it's all real here. It's all real. It's all real. So that's what we do. I had to let everybody know that, you know, you're so fly. It's in your name. I had to say that because he got a kick out of it. So
it's the punchline for me.
So first of all, welcome, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming to spend some time with us. I was telling MUGZY, family, I'm going to share with you. I was telling MUGZY that I was checking out, you know, some of your designs. I already picked out a few things that I like that I'm going to have to acquire. So I said, you know, when I wanted to try to be cute, I was like, I'm going to, you know, I want to check out these few things. But I said, I love your style. I love your sense of style, your sense of fashion, and your statement, I should say. But I love the statement that you make. I realize and recognize, I mean, although it's not my forte, I do love fashion. And I recognize that as a designer, you have a statement. So I appreciate yours and love it. It's so fly. It's so fly. So for our family members who are unaware, would you please tell us a little about yourself and, you know, where you were like born and raised and all that good stuff?
Okay, so I like to go by the name MUGZY MCFLY. I like to consider myself a creative, a fashion designer, all-around designer of life and all things fly. And on weekends, I'm a superhero. And I'm from the Bronx, New York.
Oh, the boogie down.
Definitely got a boogie down.
Do people say that? Do they say that a lot?
Barely. Maybe like 20 years ago, maybe.
Oh, shut up. Did you just... MUGZY, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Did you just throw me all the way under the bus? I mean I know.
I put myself under the bus too because I was there. The skin is good, but I was there 20 years ago.
I know that's right. You said maybe like 20 years ago. Look, we're still saying it, okay? We're still saying it.
In small corners of the world, yes, we're still saying it.
You did it again. You couldn't just let me have that. You're like
Nah,
in small corners.
you know what? You can have that. You can
In
have
small
that.
corners of the. I'm gone now. You threw me under there twice. To my small corners of the world. Heavens to Murgatroyd. Okay, so yeah, I'm dating myself again because nobody says heavens to Murgatroyd but me, probably.
You are unique, and it's I love it. The energy's here. Let's embrace that.
Thank you. I am unique. Family, did you hear that? I am unique. MUGZY MCFLY said, I am unique. I love it. I own that too. Let me tell you, I own that because I am. So, okay, growing up in the Bronx, being a creative. Now, I can certainly relate to being a creative because as a creative, that's the umbrella. There's so many things. Well, I mean, I don't know. Would you agree? You know, as a creative, there's different energy.
There's different energy. There's a lot of lanes. It's kind of like as you can put it in a box. There is no box at the same time. So it's so much angles you can be a creative with.
So So tell us, again, you know, for our family members who are unaware, whose introduction to you is this episode. Tell us, please, when you say as a creative and a superhero and all that good stuff. I love that. I might have to put that in my pocket. You're a superhero on the weekends. I love it. But tell us what you mean when you say those things.
Well, I basically, I'm all about my community. I try to do things that, inspire the highest human act. So I'm a little deeper than clothes, but clothes is probably the most vocal thing of your appearance. And I mean, as much as they say don't judge a book by its cover, they do, and they have to, because that's what you see first. That's what speaks to you before any words or any language comes out in your clothing. So why not it be the most important thing to you?
Right.
And if anything, it's my walking canvas where I can showcase who I am and what I'm about and what I like. You can get a lot of conversation and understanding from just what I'm wearing. So
I like
and
that.
I try to tie that into everything because it's just, you put down a couple of stones and you might build a mansion.
That's the goal, right? That's the goal. That's the goal. I mean, I don't know. It's mine. It's one of mine. One of mine, I will say. I've got a lot of goals, but one of yes. Don't stop with one. Don't stop. don't stop there. No, I love that though, and there's so much truth to what you were saying. You can't put creativity in a box. It's so fluid. I love that about how our juices flow. And I'm not mixing mine with yours. I'm just saying as a creative, under that umbrella of being a creative. Because there's so many lanes, as you said, in which we can go. But I love that you were brought to my attention because of one of your superpowers, I will say, which is that of being a designer. Yes, come on now. When there's recognition, when you've got one, two, and more that have gathered together that are saying, yo, did you check this out? That's a superpower right there. I told you I'm putting it in my back pocket. Okay, so I'm listening.
Go ahead. It's yours. I'm sharing.
So, but I love that. I love that you've identified that So you say the skin looks good, and you said, look, you're like, look, yeah, I heard you throw that out there earlier. You said, some things about the boogie down and all of that. The skin might look good, but I was there too. Talk to us. I can only imagine. See, I know, family, what's going to happen is that MUGZY is going to say, look, I didn't know you. I had no idea you were this crazy. I know that's what's going to happen. I know.
Nah, not at all.
I know it's coming.
Extremely enjoyable. It's great.
You're good. You're good.
And by the way, nothing is wrong with crazy. Just
I own it.
For future reference.
I happen to believe we all have a little crazy. Some are just a little further along the spectrum than others. So I own my crazy. Okay.
Amen.
I'm good with it. It goes under that unique.
Right there. It's a superpower of yours.
You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly. I get you. I absolutely get you.
Okay, so tell me first of all, do you have any siblings?
Yes, I have a few brothers and sisters, yeah.
You said you have a few?
A few.
Okay. Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Even though we're
It's,
all brothers and sisters, but yes, good for you. Yeah.
you know what, Muggsy. So tell us, or do any of them share some of your superpowers?
It's funny, no, I'm really the black horse. I'm alone in this. Don't feel like I'm a product of like a family thing or anything. It's just like a wild card of the
Mm,
bunch to be like that. I don't think there's anybody else that's that dedicated to anything fashionable or whatever. Or maybe I'm just bits and pieces of everything that came together in a fashionable way. I don't
mm-hmm.
really think it was heavily influenced by like, oh, this person had a sewer in their family or a designer in their family. That wasn't me. It's completely
Mm,
left.
I love that.
Yeah,
I
I
can
love.
identify. I say
Mm-hmm,
that because I can identify. I have a large family,
mm-hmm,
um, just large family overall.
mm-hmm.
But as a creative, with regard to my particular and specific line, you know, yeah, I'm by myself. I always say I'm one of these kids that doesn't belong here. Remember that little song?
Wait, not something is wrong with this picture. Oh,
Yeah,
there it is.
yeah. Like where'd they get her?
Oh my God.
But hey, it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Amen.
I own it.
Amen.
I embrace it. You
As you
know,
should.
yeah, as you have as well. I see. So you have siblings, and none of them are in the fashion industry, which is was that a good or bad thing for you?
I don't want no competition. It's fine. No,
I know that.
just take the front row seat and enjoy the show. It's fine.
You know, superheroes always have competition, though. Someone always wants to be the
I
superhero.
mean, of course, it's fun, but the main competition is yourself in my book.
How about that?
And I'm only trying to beat myself from yesterday.
And there it is. There it is right there. So, being a designer,
Hmm.
please, like, talk to us and tell us how that came about for you. Did you always have an interest in fashion or design or?
I would say yes. It's just I didn't know that you could actually pursue a field like that. So I always cared about sneakers and clothing. And funny story, like when I first was on the hunt of getting a job, I was so like caught up on, can I wear sneakers to this job? Do I have to wear a full suit? Can I wear regular clothes? Like, what is the dress code for the job?
Mm-hmm.
And it was crazy because I was so invested in that more than the pay, more than everything else, more than the commute, more than who I'm working with. Which I look back on now and I'm like, wow, it was always there. And the very first instance that I know of,
Mm-hmm.
fashion wise, my mother told me of because I was old enough to remember. She said I was a kid and I used to be infatuated with Pro Keds, the older brand. They used to have a blue little Keds, used to have a blue little box on the back of the heel of the shoes. And before I knew names, I would know that brand because of the blue box. And I wouldn't take any shoes unless it had the blue box. So it came to a point that if they wanted me to wear the shoes, they had to take a pen and draw a blue box on the back, and that's the only way I take it. So that was my fashionable moment from before I could basically say everybody's name. I could say that brand, and I'm like, wow, I wish you'd have told me that earlier, so I could have been in fashion a little earlier. But it was kind of there from the jump. So
That is so cute. It's adorable.
it's
You said,
amazing.
mm-mm, I need that little blue box. I need that. I need
No,
that.
I don't want nothing else. Just that. Like I wouldn't. You put on anything else, I just stand there and cry. Like no, I need no. Lisa, no. Yeah.
You know, I'm always amazed when I talk with our guests about, you know, coming into their calling or recognizing their gifts or their superpowers, if you will. I'm always amazed by the stories because, you know, love how he moves. I love how God moves and how he places and plants seeds and, you know, and how in some instances and with some people's experiences, some of our guests' experiences,
Mhm.
it's everyone on the outside that sees it first.
Yeah, I would. It's really crazy. And it's like, why y'all need saving? Like, I even going to high school, like, I would go to school and I come back now and they're like, y'all always I never seen you working a job. And I'm like, why you didn't say that before? So I didn't work a job. Like, yeah, I never really seen the job thing for you. Like, this fits you so much. It's like, y'all just gonna let me go into the world and not fly, huh? Really? Okay.
Well, you know how that is though too. Sometimes we don't always listen to somebody else when they're telling us what they
That's
see for
true.
our lives.
But it is funny because having that idea in your head and thinking you're the only one, so harsh. Because then when you finally get someone to be like, "Nah, I see that for you," it's like,
Mm.
"Oh, okay, thanks." It's confirmation. We all need some more confirmation.
You know what? It's so interesting you say that. I do agree with confirmation. I do. But I can so identify with everything you're saying right now because I had a similar experience with my family who saw in me they saw my gifts, but I didn't really. I knew I loved to do it. It was something that I enjoyed. Like I
Mm-hmm.
love to sing. For those who are unaware, I'm a vocalist. Okay. Love to sing, love to sing, love to sing. Did it, I mean, as soon as I could, was screaming from the crib, you know. Right. So my mother said, I know you got a good set of, lungs on
She's
her,
still going. Yeah, she's still crying.
right, right,
You know
right.
what? That
And
child
I
is finished.
ran from it though. I recognized that it was something I loved to do, but I didn't run to it. It was, it wasn't anything I ran to. And here you are, you're like, you know what? Y'all ain't want to tell me that that's what this was. Like, I think it's
Yeah.
meant for us to find the path in order for us to like fully own it. I don't know. You think?
No, I agree. I feel like discovering it, like like found money on the floor or something. It kind of gives you a little bit. If somebody
Yeah.
gave you the dollar or you found a dollar, it's like, oh yeah, I don't know what I could buy with a dollar, but I got a dollar. So
Right. It was
yeah,
meant for me to have because
this one's for me.
right, right. That is how about that? I could I could go for finding $1 right now. A
I wish
couple
a
of
dollar for
dollars.
you.
Uh, So you were talking about this blue
Yes.
with kids. I remember kids. So
Mhm.
you see, talk about remembering things. I'm remembering Buster Brown. You probably don't know anything about
I
Buster
know Buster
Brown.
Brown. Yes, I do.
What? You know Buster Brown?
Hmm.
Let me tell you how I looked forward to Buster Brown and my little birthday surprises and everything. I looked forward to it. So you said this little blue that, which is so interesting to me because you identified at a very young age. You're like, no, I need this. This is what I need, and I'm not moving unless I have that, and that's it for me.
And it took me till the the Ninja Turtle movie to come out that I wore Ninja Turtle sneakers. That's what it took. If that movie didn't come out, I'd have probably still been wearing pro kids.
No, really?
No, honestly, I know. And then after
Oh
that, I started liking shoes that light up and all type of cartoon characters. So I kind of got away from that. TV got me out of it. Like I had to.
well, I guess that was a good thing though because it expanded.
It expanded my palette. But I
Yeah.
feel like if I would have had an addiction to one thing, it would have
Hmm.
go to the point where I know like it's a fashion thing.
Okay.
But now since it went to cartoons and stuff, it's kind of like I don't realize that it's not really the cartoon though. It jumped from fashion to like more lifestyle and stuff and TV.
Oh,
And
I
that's
love
where I
it.
kind of lost the connection. Like, wait a
Yeah,
minute, this is originally for fashion.
yeah. You was like you said, lost the connection. I mean, I think that's just like you said, expanding your
Expand like
palette.
I,
Yeah.
I forgot the very roots of it. I'll say that.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I forgot the
It was
very
that
roots.
shock of something different and new in which you had an interest.
Yeah, I was like, oh, and I
You
just
said,
kind of like, kids, all right, I'm good. No,
no more kids.
I haven't.
You
I
kicked.
wouldn't
You
even.
kicked rock. Wait, you told kids to kick rocks?
Not. I wouldn't even wear kids to kick rocks. So no, I didn't tell them that. But not knowing that story, I feel like in the future I would, if I ever got a chance to like do something with them, I would. If they still do stuff like that, but it's just I know since it was vital in my story, yeah, why not? But I mean, now I don't wear kids. I actually design my own sneakers, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm at the point where I could, you know, do my own thing.
Yeah, I want to talk about that too. I want to tell our family members about your own sneakers. I like how you put that in there because you know I was coming back around to it. You know
Just
we were bringing it full
had to
circle.
beat you
You
to the
you know
punch.
we were doing that. We were going to do
Right.
that. So family, just in case you just tuned in, you tuned in to Love and Life on WURD progressive Black talk media on air and online at wordradio.com. And we are talking with none other than MUGZY MCFLY, the superhero himself. It is a pleasure to have him here with us, and we're grateful that you're here spending some time with us. What we're going to do right now, though, is take a short break, get some water, cool off, and we'll be right back, and we'll talk about some more things. So stay with us, okay? Because we'll be right back.
April is National Poetry Month.
Will they clone little black girls who won't die but fight, who supplement stamina for endless struggles to write? Will they clone little black girls like Asada, Sonia, Tubman, knowing what they know? Will they clone little black girls like Nikki, Zora, Mommy, Grandma, who orchestrate transmutation as they go under cloaks of duplicity and breaches staggering? Rhetorical, I know. Will they clone little black girls like Sojourner, Rosa, Fannie Lou, Frances Ellen, Maxine, Angela, Tony, who braved notwithstanding ghettos, guns, gloom, doom, distracted and detracted mothers mothering, who staved unequivocally and persevered, erasing all doubt of concession, digression, misconception, and their wonder? Will they clone little black girls with the integrity of legacy? Little black girls like me, like you, that won't die but fight. Will they clone little black girls? I know that's right.
That was Lois Moses on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Imagine you on a deserted island all by yourself, or even being in a crowd of people yet still feeling alone. That's what being a victim of sexual assault can feel like. Victims of sexual assault are at an increased risk for developing depression, PTSD, substance abuse, eating disorders, and anxiety. Sexual assault can happen to anyone, and as any unwanted sexual contact such as unwanted touching, fondling, groping, or even rape. No always means no, so speak up and speak out. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Black Americans have died of COVID-19 at over 2 times the rate of white counterparts. This is due to systemic racism and healthcare disparities. Here are some tips for protecting yourself. Wear a mask covering your mouth and nose. Avoid crowds. Wash your hands with soap and water. Use alcohol-based sanitizers. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Practice social distancing and follow World Health Organization guidelines. Quarantine if you've been exposed to the virus. Self-isolate if you're experiencing symptoms. Seek medical attention if you experience difficulty breathing, a fever, cough, sudden confusion, or pressure in your chest. If you don't have health insurance or a healthcare provider, try contacting your state health department, community health clinics, or local hospitals for testing and treatment. Together, we can stay informed and empowered. This public service announcement is from the National Black Cultural Information Trust.
When I cross the finish line, it's not just me. I succeed because of others. When I was pregnant, I survived because of others. At 32 weeks, I was diagnosed with preeclampsia and had an emergency C-section. Because my doctor took quick action and my husband was there to help me, I'm alive. Too many women die of pregnancy-related complications, and most are preventable. If you or someone you know is pregnant or recently had a baby, learn the warning signs. It could help save her life. Hear her.
For the Indianapolis Colts, becoming a running back was no easy task for me. But it's nothing compared to what my amazing mom faces every day. My mom was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy when I was 14 years old. Yet she's always there for me, every step of the way, despite her own battles. And the Muscular Dystrophy Association is there for my mom. At their 150 care centers across the U.S., MDA is the leading organization in research and care for kids and adults with muscular dystrophy, ALS, and related neuromuscular diseases. Their research is helping find cures and save lives. Watching my mom go through her daily struggles and the care she receives from MDA has made me determined to help find a cure for neuromuscular disease. That is why I support MDA, and that's why I'm so grateful to others who do too. Join me and learn more at helpmda.org today.
Hi, I'm Tanya Hopkins, aka The Food Griot, the host of Savory and Sweet, a new show about food, history, and culture. Savory and Sweet is a flavorful exploration of food marinated in the Black experience, seared with history and brazen culture. Each week, I'll fold in conversations that center food and drink at the intersection of business, health and well-being, entertainment, education, and innovation, while separating the facts from fiction on the sometimes surprising origins of what we eat and drink. So join me, the Food Griot, and special guests for Savory and Sweet, Food History and Culture, every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. beginning January 2nd, 2022, exclusively on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent Black media.
Hey there, family. Welcome back. You're tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. For our family members who are unaware, I want to let you know that you can email us. You can do so by emailing loveandlife@wordradio.com. That's love and life at WURD. radio.com. You can send us questions, comments, suggestions for topics you want us to discuss, and you can even just say hello, because we like when you do that too. So you can do so at loveandlife@wordradio.com. So before the break, we were talking with tonight's guest, who is the one and only MUGZY MCFLY. Yes. And he was sharing with us, well, he was sharing with me, because I said, tell me about your kids experience. He was talking about kids, that little blue square. And he said it wasn't until he saw the Ninja Turtles that, it sparked an interest. And he said, wait a minute, wait, hold on. Slow down, go fast. I kind of like that too.
There's other things in this world.
So now that we know, that was the beginning of that journey to your experience with experiencing other things in this world. See, I got choked up there. I couldn't get it out. You caught me, right? You caught me. I saw you. You were trying to help me. Thank you. I mean, that's what it's about. It's about help. Amen. We should help one another. So tell me, what are some of your influences for your creativity?
Well, my environment, the Bronx, where I'm from, because I feel like when New York and a lot of big cities, there isn't so much of the homegrown stuff, like mom and pop stuff. Mm-hmm. I live in the Bronx, where it's probably the last of New York City that's not gentrified. And I still could go to a food place, and the same lady that was working there when I was 4 is still there. And I don't see that anywhere, where, like a whole avenue will be filled of the original mom and pop. They're owned by people that we can actually call on the phone and speak to, not a big corporation. Right. Or corporations come in and they don't strive because you don't care for corporations. Mm-hmm. So that was one influence. And then I would say circumstances. I didn't always have it. We struggled growing up. So I feel like the power of broke kind of influenced my fashion, because you just have it, you'll buy anything, anytime. And now, if I only got this set amount for the first day of school, I gotta pick my outfits special. I gotta make sure that this sneaker, I like this sneaker a lot. I like this pants a lot. And I might only have 3 pair of jeans, 5 shirts, but I gotta find a way to make this week of school work by I am wearing this one on Monday and Wednesday, like Biggie said, this one Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, since it's gonna be warm, I wear that new one because that's the one they're gonna remember me by. Like, I legit had to figure it out that way, and it had a huge influence on that part. Had a huge influence on my fashion taste because I can be smart.
I love that you said that. I always say that I'm a Garanimals kid because I promise you, and like you said, when you have it, you buy more. You tend to do so anyway.
Yes.
I wear the same. I promise you, I think I wear the same thing because they're my favorites.
Nothing is wrong with nothing. You're just a cartoon character. Doug don't change his shirt. Arnold, they don't change their shirt. Mickey Mouse had the same shirt on for how many years? Winnie the Pooh?
Oh my
he
god!
don't wear pants. He just he's comfortable. He just wear the shirt.
He's just out there. He's just out there.
Like, I know it's me with the red shirt. Where the honey at? Let's go.
I mean, come on, where is it?
I'm here.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
I mean, that. You know what? There's every bit of truth to everything you just said. And as a woman though, being a female, I think. Well, I don't even know if I can say that in 22, but I am. But a woman, but saying with regard to fashion and what I prefer and things of that nature, because fashion is with everything is fluid right now. Yeah. But I know, for the longest time, I always had the pressure. I always felt the pressure, like, well, you gotta be wearing this, you gotta be wearing that. Now I've never been the person that's been big on buying what everybody else is wearing. Amen. I like what appeals to me. I've always been that person. If I love it, you best believe you're going to see it. You're going to get it. You're going to get it.
Amen.
And you might get it in every color. You just might. You just might. You just might.
Keep your fingers crossed.
Listen, you just might. So we were talking earlier, just a moment ago, you were talking about your sneakers. I want to let everyone know the different types of apparel and goods that you designed. I want to know design. I should not say in past tense, but your brand. Talk to us about your brand. I want everybody to know, Mugsy.
I mean, I make anything that's needed. I mean, I make girl clothes, kid clothes, swimwear, club wear, athleisure, active, comfort, all function. I mean, because it's life. So why not design for life? My first love come from shoes, obviously, kids. So why not return that love and have my own branding where, I could be from the ground up. There's a different feeling where you can wear, like, I could, any day of the week, I could wear my shoes, my socks, my underwear, my pants, my top, my hat. And it's a feeling that not many people could witness. And it just feels great. Like, it's just me. And it feels good. And I look good. So
I love that. No, seriously, we'll talk offline, but I love that. I'll tell you why. I love that because there's an additional sense of power that comes with that. And it's not in a pretentious way. It's empowering. So I get that. I love that for you. I really, really do. I was I have like about 5 questions at the top of my head right now, but I'm going to ask this next one. So I was saying to you that, I believe every designer has a statement with their brand. I don't know would you say that's true for you? And if so, what would you say is yours?
They have a message you want to speak on. So yeah, I agree.
What is your message? What's your statement?
Well, I have 2. I would say one is that I want you to know that you can do it, because I'm not formally trained in anything fashion. I just love fashion. So a lot of things is from my love of fashion. And also, I want you to know that you can look and feel good. Some people look great. You're walking in heels, your feet are hurting, wearing this tight thing is bothering you, and all these things, but you could actually look great and feel great, paid a nice price. Nothing that would kill you. I like that, to cover all those boundaries.
I appreciate that. I received that because there's truth to that too. So where can we find your goods? Where can we find?
signedbymcfly.com. But then also on Instagram, have an app in the App Store, Sign by McFly. You can Google it, man. Google me, Google name, and you'll flood.
I did, but I had to ask because of our family members who are unaware.
Of course.
Yeah, I did my due diligence. Yes, signed by
Amen.
McFly. Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So you said, look, you can Google me. You find me everywhere. I love that too because I did. I did when I said I want to see, for myself. So family, let me bring you up to speed. I was telling Muggsy that none other than y'all know my good sister and girlfriend Deanna Williams said to me, okay, you've got to have a conversation with Muggsy McFly. You've got to know who he is. And I did not hesitate because it's Deanna, and I agree wholeheartedly when I started doing my research and started looking for information about you. I was really impressed initially with your story because that's what I saw. I saw bits and pieces of your story first. Like I did not see the full story, but bits and pieces of your story. And I appreciate that. And you just alluded to it when you were saying, look, we came from humble beginnings and I didn't have a background in fashion. And I think that's so necessary to be told. That's a story that's necessary to be told, especially today, because our babies don't know. Our babies don't know. They don't know our power. They don't know our superpower. They don't know their superpower. And I feel like I say it every single episode. I feel like something from everybody's journey can be helpful to the next person's. So to hear you say, I liked kids, then the Ninja Turtles, and then,
Amen.
I feel like that can be helpful to somebody.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, well, good. I'm glad. I'm glad. But I would like you to share with us too, like some of the challenges that you faced when starting your business, when you were pursuing your brand.
Well, it's multiple. First off is coming out of college, and of course every college kid is broke.
Mhm.
Not being able to get a job, and then pivoting from wanting to have a career and then wanting to do something else. And I'm not the average person fresh out of college. Some people they change their mind in college. Say, oh, whatever, and they didn't finish. Like I have my 4-year bachelor's of accounting from St. John's University. Like I reached that pinnacle
Mhm.
and waited a long time, got a job and didn't like it. And then after that job, I was like, I gotta do something else. And it eventually brought me to clothing and to go from, the guy who finished all of this, and, parents and family might not understand the finances don't rack up for that. It's
Right.
like, what do you do? So it was really heavy. And then I kind of reintroduced myself as a designer when you don't know me for that, like clothing wise, for you to listen to me or trust me to dress you is a challenge. Like, what can I possibly do to make you know that what I'm wearing is it? That
Mhm.
was a lot. And the year I came out was one of those years in fashion where I was in the middle ground where it'd be people that had brands that were selling shirts for $25, and then there's people that was making all leather ensembles, which I couldn't dare compete with. And it was just like, where do I stand? So it took me a lot to get out of that. So,
The mindset or the actual position, the place, or both.
no, actual position. Like I always believed that I'm gonna do this. Like
Okay.
once I started, I said, I'm not gonna do anything else. Like
Hmm.
I want this, I'm gonna do it. Just figuring out how to get. Like I need to get to Brooklyn today. How am I get to Brooklyn? I have to figure it out. I ain't got a Metro card. I ain't got Uber. How am I gonna get there? I know I'm going to Brooklyn though, and I know
Right.
Brooklyn is that way. I'm gonna find a way there. It's kind of how it was.
Mm. There's so much power in that alone, and about owning, like you said. Look, I don't know how I was going to get there, but I knew I was going to get there.
Yeah.
We talk about it. Well, I talk about it all the time about owning it. Like when I say to you, I receive that, I own it. There is so much power in speaking and pouring into yourself. especially when you don't know. I mean, none of us knows tomorrow. We don't know the next minute. We don't know what it will hold. But when your belief is so strong in yourself and you know deep within your spirit that this is where you are and this is where you're supposed to be, and that you know the next step you're about to take is the step that you're supposed to take, there is a whole lot of power in that. And I love that. Family, we're going to take another break, a short break. But when we come back, Mugsy's going to talk with us some more about when he was starting off in his business, because I have a few more questions about that. So stay with us, because we're coming right back.
I remember this one moment. I ran to kind of the water edge, and my mom said something along the lines of like, now it's your turn. Take that first step. When I became a mom myself, I feel like my whole world changed. There's some light within her that makes me continue to do the climate science work that I do. You don't have to be a climate scientist to want to protect the earth. As moms, we care about our children and the environment they grow up in. And for Mia, I want you to know that I worked really hard to be a part of the change and to make it a better place for you.
Email from school about the incident today.
Scary.
Tell me about it. Did you have any idea that was going on?
None. I mean, you saw Derek at the game last night too. Did you have a clue?
No, but you know, teachers like me, parents, we don't always know as much as you guys do. Kids hear first about what's going on with other kids.
Half the time, it's rumors.
It can be hard to tell sometimes, but if you're ever concerned about a friend who's having trouble with alcohol, prescription drugs, bullying, violence, anything, you need to tell an adult. Mom or me, a teacher, coach, school counselor, someone you know and trust.
Dad, no kid is gonna tell an adult about that kind of stuff.
I get it, but if we don't know, we can't help. Speaking up about a problem, that's what helping a friend is all about.
You know, a lot of people say when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. And I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
We're often influenced by what we see or hear on social media. Beware of disinformation campaigns targeting Black communities by using cultural issues to incite divisions, spread false information, and negatively influence public opinions. We're in this together, and together we can stay informed and empowered. Learn more at nbcit.org. This public service announcement is from the National Black Cultural Information Trust.
I'll be here to hear what's on your mind. Take this time to talk and get it right. You know I'll be there all your life. When you need me, I'll be by your side. By your side. And every day is a different day. Everything is in everything. Even when you think things can never ever be the same. Don't be scared of the world, I'll be here to stay. By your side. Even when your heart ain't listening, or your mind takes you a different way, towards a different path. All you gotta do is sit and ask. When you need me, I'll be by your side.
When the adults in a child's life talk early and often about the dangers of underage drinking, the message gets stronger every time.
I'll be by your side.
Talk. They hear you.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent Black media.
Welcome back, family. You're tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. I am your host, Carol Riddick, and I am here talking with MUGZY MCFLY. I love saying his name. I think I just love it. I do.
I like that you like that because I actually studied that. A certain amount of syllables and repetition in names make it appeasing and make people want to speak your name.
You know what? Well, it works clearly, okay? Because I cannot stop saying it, and I love the way it flies. Love the way it rolls off. Love. Because I was going to ask. I was going to ask. I'm sure you deduced that by now. You know that was coming.
Right. This is
we got to stretch on this one.
All right, I got you now. All right. So, okay, 2-part question.
Okay.
First name, last name.
Okay.
All right. So originally, the MUGZY name is from high school. I went to John F. Kennedy High School purposely to try and play basketball. I was really short when I went to this school. I was 4'11". I'm 6'2" now. Amazing. Don't ask me how.
Okay.
So I was 4'11",
okay.
and ironic enough, your freshman schedule, you don't have no control of it. I had first and second period gym, and we played basketball every morning. So naturally, you don't know everybody's name. Everybody's cool, whatever, playing ball. And I remember one of the older kids, because that's the only class that you could have as a freshman that you interact with older people because they'll have gym too.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the older guys was picking me up, and he's like, "Yo, I got MUGZY," because MUGZY Bogues is the shortest basketball player ever. He's 5'3". He spells his with an S. I spell mine with a Z. That's for Google purposes, by the way. Just thinking that far ahead when I was younger. I don't know how I knew, but that's where that name came from. And then, like I said, the science of knowing that only so much people were name stands by them with one name. Mm-hmm. And of course, I shared the first name, so I had to have a last name. So McFly is two things. It's from the Back to the Future movie, which is my favorite movie of all time. And the reason why is because I believe in being timeless. And if you watch the trilogy, it basically tells you about, time is but so important. You can't be too consumed in time. He wanted to go to the future to save his kids and messed up the past, and things are what it is. You live timeless. So that stood into it. And then, of course, it's an acronym. Many can't fly like you.
You know what?
And here we are, MUGZY MCFLY.
Many can't fly like you. I'm loving this. I'm listen. So many conversations. Okay, MUGZY, you are so many conversations. Wait, I went to your Instagram page, and wait, there's a line. It reads in your bio. It was about tags. Wait. I just forgot it that quickly.
I never played tag. I'm always it.
Let me tell you.
I was listen. I want something that's gonna be like, oh yeah, him. Okay.
I never played tag. I was always it.
Yeah, I was sure. I was for certain. It's a playback to childhood because I actually did play tag, but I always knew.
I would hope you played tag. I would hope, you were stuck on kids. Maybe, I don't know. You may not have wanted to get them scuffed or, I don't know.
No, once I got them Ninja Turtles, I was trying everything. Trust me. I tried everything when I got the Ninja Turtles.
So that is so funny to me. The Ninja Turtles just set it off, everything. Yes. So what was it about? What was it about the Ninja Turtles?
I feel like it was the dynamic of, them being like, you see a turtle as timid and regular, but these are turtles that can fight and are different. And then even every color represented something else. Even though orange is my favorite color, but orange wasn't Michelangelo wasn't my favorite. He was just like the fun. And Donatello was smart. Leo was the leader, and Raphael was like the strength and the grit. Like, it was just so much different sides of a person. and you can relate to each one in their own way.
So true.
And of course, real simple, they like pizza, and who doesn't love pizza?
Who doesn't love it? I know one person that doesn't love pizza, and I tell her I think she's an alien. But what was your take on what he was a rat, right? Wasn't he a rat?
I didn't like that part.
Okay.
I didn't like that part. I grew up I'm in New York, so me and rats, we don't get along. It's like, y'all cool, but him?
Wait.
Why him?
Wait. Mugzy, I'm going to share family and Mugzy. I'm going to share this one story. We're your family now, Mugzy. So family, I'm going to share this one story about a rat. Okay.
Oh God.
No. And you know what? Out of all the times I've been to New York, there's not one time that I've seen one in New York. Not one time. Praise God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Praise God. Because I'm there a lot. And I was in Washington, D.C. I was after a gig, and they're loading up the car, and I'm just coming down. My adrenaline I was on, just coming off stage. I was like, okay, feeling really good about the night, and walking to the car, and there was a building right across. It was like a small like street alleyway type, if you will. And you heard this clink, clink. You heard like clink, like clink. So who is that? Because there was no one. You didn't see anyone coming down the stairs. It was a rat coming down the stairs. And this rat was about the size of a cat or maybe a small raccoon. I don't have to tell you how fast I moved. Okay. I don't have to tell you. I'd never had an experience like that. But in any event, I digress. I felt I needed to share that story in that moment because we were talking about the
traumatic.
It was a traumatic experience. It was very traumatic for me.
It's real regular.
No, that cannot be regular, Mugzy.
I've seen ones those size. Well, maybe 2 or 3, but I'm from New York, so take the subway.
They say that. I know. Even on the subway in New York, I never. Well,
it's funny.
I'm going to stop saying it.
It's so funny because I bet if you come and I pointed out to you where to look, listen.
Okay.
Even in the beautiful areas too, like you just know where to look, on what day to look. The garbage is coming out. Stay right here. Don't move. Give me 5 minutes. Oh, there you go. Oh, there you go. Oh, there you go. Drop your pizza right here.
No.
I'm telling. I promise you.
Let me tell you, because I'm not even doing that because we are not above it here in Philly because
oh God,
I don't even know if we still have the issue, but we did at one point in time in the Northeast. They were on people's lawns. Like you could see a number of them just out on the lawn. Like
they're not like, they have respect here. They want to hide. They're not outside chilling.
You said, wait.
Maybe they come from here and they're on vacation. Because I don't know.
You did not say no. Well, no, they have respect here. You did not say.
They're like, this your block? When you go to sleep, I'll be out here.
Well, how about where was I? Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. In Cuba, they will be right outside your door. And you can't kill them because they're the mascot. They're called banana rats, and they are the size of raccoons.
And
they're
I'm
huge.
not going there.
And you're.
Thank you. Noted. Not going.
And well, I should add too that the iguana there, some people feed the iguana, so some of the iguana will walk up to you. So as I was coming out of the water, an iguana was coming to me. Needless to say, I can tell you I freaked out then too, okay, because no one had warned me and no one had told me that I could open my door and see about 6 banana rats in the front of my apartment. So you see what I do for you? I share information. You had no idea that this is what you were going to get today. You had no idea.
At all.
No idea. But see, this is how it happens.
Amen.
But family, so what we've been doing, we've been talking with Mugzy about his creativity. We've been talking with him about life. I did not get to the other questions that I was going to ask, but I'm going to do so after we take this next break. At the top of the hour, we're going to take a short break. And we'll be right back, and we're going to finish talking to Mugsy. So stay with us.
Stand with WURD Radio, Pennsylvania's only black-owned talk radio station. Join the movement to keep the conversations going and amplify the voice of the black community. Show your support. Start or renew your WURD membership today at wordradio.com or call 215-425-7875.
You know, a lot of people say when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. And I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? Now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
I'm Naheem Hines, professional football player for the Indianapolis Colts. Becoming a running back was no easy task for me, but it's nothing compared to what my amazing mom faces every day. My mom was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy when I was 14 years old, yet she's always there for me, every step of the way, despite her own battles. And the Muscular Dystrophy Association is there for my mom. At their 150 care centers across the U.S., MDA is the leading organization in research and care for kids and adults with muscular dystrophy, ALS, and related neuromuscular diseases. Their research is helping find cures and save lives. Watching my mom go through her daily struggles and the care she receives from MDA has made me determined to help find a cure for neuromuscular disease. That is why I support MDA, and that's why I'm so grateful to others who do too. Join me and learn more at helpmda.org today.
I remember this one moment. I ran to kind of the water edge, and my mom said something along the lines of like, now it's your turn. Take that first step. When I became a mom myself, I feel like my whole world changed. There's some light within her that makes me continue to do the climate science work that I do. You don't have to be a climate scientist to want to protect the earth. As moms, we care about our children and the environment they grow up in. And for Mia, I want you to know that I worked really hard to be a part of the change and to make it a better place for you.
Imagine you on a deserted island all by yourself, or even being in a crowd of people yet still feeling alone. That's what being a victim of sexual assault can feel like. Victims of sexual assault are at an increased risk for developing depression, PTSD, substance abuse, eating disorders, and anxiety. Sexual assault can happen to anyone and is any unwanted sexual contact such as unwanted touching, fondling, groping, or even rape. No always means no, so speak up and speak out. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent black media. Lifting every voice till earth and heaven ring. This is WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, Philadelphia. Black Talk Media.
Hey there, welcome to the top of the second hour of Love and Life on WURD Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. We are talking with none other than MUGZY MCFLY. I wish I could remember everything that he told me because it would have been so hot if I could have just run it all down to you, especially because the latter part of his name is an acronym. I wish I could remember that. But
Many
we're going to
can't
ask him to
fly like you.
wait. Say it again.
Many can't fly like you.
See what I'm saying? Okay, see what I'm saying? I'm going to get it though. I'm going to get it. There's just so much to remember. So much. You know. Right? Yeah, I mean, he's a man of many superpowers. So I'm trying to remember them all so that I can share them with you. I mean,
thank you so much.
That's what I'm trying to do now. Yeah. So let me ask you this, because I wanted to ask you, and it's just a little joke. Are you still partial to the color blue?
No, I actually am very, 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 very infatuated with the color orange. It's kind of like my brand color at this point. Like, it just doesn't stop. It just
I love it.
Orange is the color of creativity and just warmth and energy.
It is.
Yeah.
It's so warm. I just did a t-shirt of an orange t-shirt. That's what you said. Yeah. I was like, yes.
Yeah, that's my color.
I love it. That okay. See, and orange is a good color on you too. That's a good color for you.
Skin
yeah, I mean,
come on now. What we doing?
I like it. We're doing what we do. The only way we can do it. You know, that's what we do. That is what we do. Okay, we do what we can.
Of course.
I love that. I love that. Orange. I was expecting you to say, "Oh, see, you stuck on the blue. You stuck on the blue."
It's so funny because thinking back to it now, I know how I came off of blue, and I liked blue, and then I liked blue for a very long time. Then the Power Rangers came out, and the Blue Ranger was a nerd, and I didn't like that. I was like, why he had to be so? Why he always getting beat up? And the Red Ranger was the guy, so red became my favorite color automatically for years. And then maybe by the time I was 8, basketball, these orange sneakers and
I mean, sneakers, orange works so well with sneakers. I mean, it's like, it makes them come to life, in my opinion.
Exactly. Just
it really, yes, they like pop. Like, and with regard to nerds, I'm a nerd, MUGZY.
There's a difference. There's a difference between being a nerd and a nerd that gets beat up.
Now there you have it.
I was smart.
There you have it.
You can't play with me.
There you have it. Okay.
So Billy, I'm sorry. Blue Ranger, I'm sorry. You took away the blue from me, but hey, you gave me orange.
You gave. I love the stories. I must tell you that I do
it's
love
honest.
the stories.
It's part of it. It's part of the game.
See, what did I say? We do what we can, because that's who we are. That's what I'm saying. Amen. This is Amen. Full transparency. There we go. And there it is. So I want to go back to when you were talking about when you first started. Now, I know there had to be like some moments, some peaks and valleys, you know, in those like tough times in the beginning of when you were starting your business. Like, what part did your family play?
I'm not gonna lie, they were kind of the opposition, if anything. They weren't as supportive, which I can't. It's not more so of like doubting me, but confusion, because I was always like smart. You know, everybody expect me to graduate college, high school, whatever, and just, you know, I had a plan, and then I changed the plan. So I was like, wait, what's going on with him? He doesn't want to work. He doesn't want to be an accountant. He doesn't want to do this. It was just kind of like shocking. It was like was the guy. I almost got skipped in school. Like I was really good. So for me to just pivot to like something that was more so about my love, and I was always big on money and me to sacrifice, like not working to figure something out. I was like, what's going on with him? But you know, eventually, now they all know. Like,
how about that?
I had to go through that. I mean, I try to tell anyone out there trying to do anything. I mean, your family and your friends, that close people that care about you. It kind of reflects make them reflect their fears on you. But I mean, it's honest. I mean, not everyone's gonna have the person that's like, yeah, go ahead, jump off the cliff, not knowing you can fly. They don't know. They're more worried. They care so much that's what they do, and it's not bad. It's not necessarily bad. It's just
true. Well, I think there's a lot to be said about that too, because it's all in perception. It's all in how we process that experience and the information. Amen. Yeah. There's a story that I read this story years ago, and I refer to it from time to time when I am grappling with something and how I'm going to process it or respond to it. And it's about the three frogs. Are you familiar with that story about the three frogs? Our family members, they know, this story, but I'm going to share it with Muggsy. So it was the three frogs. They're hopping along. They hop into a ditch. It may have been two frogs. I think it was two. There were two frogs. In any event, I added one. So anyway. So there are two frogs. They're hopping along. They hop into a ditch, and they're hopping, trying to get out. These other frogs come along. These three traveling frogs. They come along. They look down, see them down there, and they're yelling things. The two frogs keep trying. The one frog gives up. He just gives up. And the other frog, he keeps trying until he jumps out of the ditch. And the other three frogs look at him in surprise and say, "What? Like what? How? Why would you keep going? We told you to give up. We told you to quit. We were telling you to quit. We were yelling at you to quit, to stop." And he said, "Oh, I'm deaf. I couldn't hear you. I thought you were encouraging me." And it was beautiful. But I love that story because it's all, again, about perception and about how you process the information that you receive. So that's why I was curious to hear from you, like in those moments. And I mean, we all have peaks and valleys. That's called life. Amen. But I was curious to know, in the beginning, because in the beginning, it might seem like this is not going to happen, and in those moments, I was curious to know like how you worked through that and who was instrumental in helping you to get over.
It would probably be strangers, because anybody too close to me would be so concerned about why I chose it than what I'm doing. And I would ask the universe, like, give me a sign that I shouldn't stop, and I'll get a sale, or I'll be a part of a show, or something great will happen, to the point that I knew not to ever doubt it again. The energy was there.
I love your swag. You like you. I knew never to doubt it again. I love it. But you shouldn't, because he's got you. So I want to know too, like you alluded to starting out and looking at the different brands that were out there and saying to yourself, okay, how do I do this? How did you come up, or did you have help coming up with a marketing plan, or like, what was your strategy?
I just basically figured it out. It was like, throw everything at the wall, whatever sticks, stick. And eventually it is what it is, like, all right, I need to do photo shoots. I got friends that like to take pictures. They go to parties. If you want to be smart, this was a cheat code. I used to party before. I used to throw parties and party.
I think I read that you used to host parties.
That was very, it costs you $200 minimum maybe to get a photographer for yourself. But if you go to an event for $20, I'm more than certain that you could ask that photographer for at least 3 pictures of what you have on. So now if I go to the party with my stuff on and get 2 or 3 good pictures, one of them will become my avatar, I can sell my clothes. Then it comes to a point that they're so interested in me and my fit that they come to me. And there's a bunch of photographers that come to me. Then it's like, let's do something outside of the party, because I don't want to just do party. And here I am.
I love that. And then you say you used to throw parties, you used to DJ. What did you do? You were the promoter, or?
I was a promoter. So, I knew a lot of people. I'd have a good time at a party. So just add to it and everything. So
you still throwing parties?
I mostly throw events now, but catered to like other things. Like I throw a fashion show that's catered toward the brand. I throw a pop-up shop. It's catered toward the community and the brand. And then I just did MCFLY Fest 3 days ago.
What?
And It was like 3 days ago, and it
What?
was an event where you could only get in wearing my clothing. It was live performances, cotton candy, regular food, treats, drinks, bouncy houses, slides, basketballs, dunk tank. It was
MUGZY
colossal.
McFly Fest. Yeah, that sounds colossal. I like it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I did say I like your swag, but I love how you check me. It's interesting. You're like, no, I throw events now. No, I don't do parties.
No, I mean,
Basically, you listen.
I don't like if you hear parties. It's like, oh yeah, he has music and they're dancing, yeah, whatever. But
Right.
no.
These are
I
extravaganzas.
want experience.
Yes.
I want you to talk about this for a week. Like, yo, I'm flying to New York next time this is going on.
Excuse you, but I am so upset that I missed McFly Fest. Is this going to be an annual thing?
Yes,
Will it be a
first
biannual?
annual.
Okay, annual.
First
Okay.
annual.
Fill us in, so we should expect. We should expect was this the first one? Let me ask that.
Yeah, it was the very first one. So this was kind of like, oh, let me see what's possible and what works and put it out there. No expense spared. So I figured out, like, okay, what's needed, what was messed up, and I know. I care more about the experience factor, because now if I gave you that, it can lead to a bunch of other things, and then it was just great energy. Creating energy is first for me.
Yeah, especially now. And where did it take place? Where did you host it?
I'm in the Bronx, but it was about 10 minutes from my studio, which is in Mount Vernon, because there's more real estate there for like events. And I'm good friends with the councilman and the senator from here, so I'm going to have a meeting with them eventually, trying to get. I have way more.
He said, I'm friends with the councilman and the senator. He said, I just want to choose a space to host my event. Like I said, I love how he said, I host events. I don't host parties. But you know what? That's called maturity. That's called responsibility. That's called, knowing and owning who you are. When you say, okay, this is what I do now. That's what I used to do, but this is what I do now. Family, if you have just tuned in, you're tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. We lost MUGZY MCFLY for a moment, so I was filling them in on everything that we were talking about. I said, because he's coming back. I claimed that. He is coming back.
I make a grand appearance. The entrance got to be, you don't just cut the movie short.
I mean, I would be disappointed if there was anything different.
I know. I know I was talking about the McFly Fest, but
yes, the extravaganza.
I manifested it. I always thought about a way where I could get extreme amount of content of everyone wearing my clothing and an experience and a reason for you to buy clothes and come out. Because my party promotion of me, pop-up shop part of me, and the clothing brand of me. I just wanted to intertwine it. And then, of course, the family fun, kids, all ages. I feel like that was the perfect way to incorporate all of that. So I did that, and it was amazing. And I just, I had plans to have it. I manifested this because I remember telling my party planning friends, January 1st, I want to do an event like this.
Wait, this year? You thought of it this year? That's going to be a feat if you tell me that you thought of it January 1st, 2022.
Go ahead. Say that again?
Did you think you said in January? You said January 1st. You were telling
January
me of this year?
Yes, that's the first time I ever thought of it. And I'm really big on the power of word and keeping my word. If I say I'm going to do something, So I told them just so it gives me responsibility. I told them, and even up to the point of the person who at the venue had like family issues, and the city was going against it, and the other place wasn't ready in time. Another place, the permit wasn't ready in time, and I was like, right on the edge of like, damn, it might not happen. Then I got the phone call, and it was just like, okay, great. It was supposed to rain that day for like a week. Everybody calling me, well, what are you gonna do about the rain? What are you gonna do? I'm like, it's not gonna rain. And they said, okay, so it's not gonna rain. I believe. Not gonna rain.
That's divine orchestration.
Honestly, it hasn't rained since. So maybe I should do something to make it cool down a little bit. But it hasn't rained since I said it's not gonna rain.
You said it hadn't rained. Listen,
I swear the rain been in the forecast, and it's like,
you said, where is it?
Did I do that? Like, all right, you can rain now.
Right.
Go. They die. Matter of fact, give me 3 days. I just got a car wash.
I love it. I love it. So wait, so we can expect MCFLY Fest every July. Will it be in July?
I would aim for the end of June, start of July. I like July 4th weekend. It's a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that I ended it with fireworks and everything. So it was kind of cool. Wow. So yeah, I feel it's fitting. I feel that's a very fitting way to end it all. And yeah, that's probably what I aim to do.
I'm feeling a huge loss right now because I missed the extravaganza.
And I've learned one thing I did learn from college is supply and demand, and the demand should be higher than the supply. So the fact that you missed it and you wish you were there, my job is done.
Yes, I love it. I say the same thing. Are we related? I'm wondering. Are we related? I'm telling you, because some of these things that are coming out of your mouth are so me. So I'm saying, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. And that swag, because I can cut someone without them knowing that they've been cut. So that right there, I say, are we related?
Somewhere, somehow.
How about that? But I love hearing that. When I always speak about divine orchestration, I say that all the time. We talk about planning. I just had this conversation. We talk about planning, and divine orchestration is already set in play, and the plan, is carried out. But you, from the very first word you spoke, you've owned everything about your brand, everything about who you are, everything about what comprises you and everything that is you. I love that. I love that. I mean, even as a child, and I think there's a lot to be said about that too, because when you're talking about, finding who you are, learning who you are, there are some individuals such as yourself who have a good idea. You have a good idea as soon as you get here. Like, nah, I'm good on that, but I will go this way. and I think that's amazing. That is amazing. So
it's difficult. Some people it's so afraid to go, the other way, the less traveled route. Like it's some route, like, yo, go through the dirt road, and this road, there's a highway right here. Why would you do that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, I mean, you live once. I mean, I'd rather I get paid 1/3 less to do something I love than something I hate.
How about
I'd be
that?
a prisoner to that. So why not?
How about that? Yeah. I can say that I identify. I really do identify, and it's a beautiful thing when you live life on your terms. Oh wow! You hear my my co-host, who is my fur child. She's just picked up the one and only toy that she has that has a squeaker. Isn't that awesome?
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. Welcome. So I guess she's in agreement too with everything that you're saying right now too. But yes, she is.
That's a round of applause to me.
That's exactly a round of applause. So tell me about MCFLY Fest. I want to know a little bit more about it. Tell me, was there a huge turnout? How did you advertise it?
I just had first I used to hint at the date.
Mm-hmm.
And location coming soon. Then I drop a flyer saying the date, the time that you have to wear my clothes to get in. And I dropped the Eventbrite, and a bunch of people RSVP'd immediately, maybe like 200 people immediately. I'm like, whoa, it was free. It automatically got everybody that went to the site to buy stuff, come to the studio, buy stuff. The day before, They probably spent like thousands of dollars to buy clothing. And then lastly, I kind of treated it like Summer Jam, and I just started dropping video flyers of all the performers. Then I gave the vendors their shine and gave them something. But also, so every performer wore my clothes. I outfitted them for free.
Nice.
So of course, consider they're gonna have that kind of shine on the stage. No one could come in without my clothing. And then every vendor, it was only food and like substance vendors, not fashion vendors. I had a treat girl. All the treats had my logos and stuff on it. I had a hookah lady. Every flavor was named after me. I had a food person, and every dish was be like, Island McFly or all my McFly specials.
Yes.
The drinks as well. Wait, let me see if I have it. The drinks as well were named after things from my town and everything. And I had this beautiful, beautiful cup right here, McFly Fest cup. And when this is not cold. When you put a cold beverage in it, it turns orange.
Okay, you know what?
Wait, before you jump, this will be on the site maybe tomorrow, maybe a few days. This MCFLY Fest shirt will be on the site for anybody that missed out, because I want this to live on.
As it should, so we can be prepared for next year, because I do support. Okay, I'm a patron. I do support.
I love it.
Okay, family, you did hear that right. He said it's going to be on the site. When we come back, he's going to tell us again the name of the site so you can go and find it. But in the meantime, let's just all take a breather, just chill for a moment as we take a commercial break. We'll be right back.
April is National Poetry Month.
Transformation begins. Boom, boom, boom. Transformation begins. Boom, 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 boom. Why does this poetry pulsate within me with the intensity of 1,000 hearts? I could write this in 1,000 parts and still might not understand why these prophecies of poetry funnel through me like cases are just tracks. My lyrical erection would never retract, cause my poetry is hard but soft enough to make Master P drop a tear. Nah. I say, holla if you hear me, cause Ivy got the hook up on heavenly passes with no need to pass the plate for offerings whomever's congregating. I'm off in eternity without segregating souls and like the city. I'm an itty bitty kid in this worldly litter, but my litter will pollute this vast mass of trash and filthy with poetic positivity. Putting holes in your holes on the bash negativity. My words need no promotion, so maybe I should sign with relativity. I got more tips and gratuity, so I'ma continue this like continuity aboard a continental flight across the continents. I represent like Olympians taking victory laps. My red gold pen in the atmosphere. My words are record breaking. Transformation. Transformation ends.
That was Vintage J. Ivy on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Yeah! Sam, Elmo!
Oh, hey, Julia. You ready to play band with us? I'm going to play my clarinet.
And Elmo's going to play his drum. Drum loud.
Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music. Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
Black Americans have died of COVID-19 at over 2 times the rate of white counterparts. This is due to systemic racism and healthcare disparities. Here are some tips for protecting yourself. Wear a mask covering your mouth and nose. Avoid crowds. Wash your hands with soap and water. Use alcohol-based sanitizers. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Practice social distancing and follow World Health Organization guidelines. Quarantine if you've been exposed to the virus. Self-isolate if you're experiencing symptoms. Seek medical attention if you experience difficulty breathing, a fever, cough, sudden confusion, or pressure in your chest. If you don't have health insurance or a healthcare provider, try contacting your state health department, community health clinics, or local hospitals for testing and treatment. Together, we can stay informed and empowered. This public service announcement is from the National Black Cultural Information Trust.
When I cross the finish line, it's not just me. I succeed because of others. When I was pregnant, I survived because of others. At 32 weeks, I was diagnosed with preeclampsia and had an emergency C-section. Because my doctor took quick action and my husband was there to help me, I'm alive. Too many women die of pregnancy-related complications, and most are preventable. If you or someone you know is pregnant or recently had a baby, learn the warning signs. It could help save her life. Hear her.
For the Indianapolis Colts, becoming a running back was no easy task for me. But it's nothing compared to what my amazing mom faces every day. My mom was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy when I was 14 years old. Yet she's always there for me, every step of the way, despite her own battles. And the Muscular Dystrophy Association is there for my mom. At their 150 care centers across the U.S., MDA is the leading organization in research and care for kids and adults with muscular dystrophy, ALS, and related neuromuscular diseases. Their research is helping find cures and save lives. Watching my mom go through her daily struggles and the care she receives from MDA has made me determined to help find a cure for neuromuscular disease. That is why I support MDA, and that's why I'm so grateful to others who do too. Join me and learn more at helpmda.org today.
Hi, I'm Tanya Hopkins, aka The Food Griot, the host of Savory and Sweet, a new show about food, history, and culture. Savory and Sweet is a flavorful exploration of food, marinated in the Black experience, seared with history and brazen culture. Each week, I'll fold in conversations that center food and drink at the intersection of business, health and well-being, entertainment, education, and innovation, while separating the facts from fiction on the sometimes surprising origins of what we eat and drink. So join me, the Food Griot, and special guests for Savory and Sweet, Food, History, and Culture every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. beginning January 2nd, 2022, exclusively on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent Black media.
Hey there, family. Welcome back. You're tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. We are talking with MUGZY MCFLY, none other than who was just filling us in about MCFLY Fest. And as you can tell, my co-host for the day is very upset that she too missed it. That would be Chloe Chanel, my fur child, who's in the back that you hear. Yes, you know Chloe.
I want
You
to
all
say
know
something.
her.
Your breaks, they're really unique, and the music be good, the poetry be good. I was just there forgetting the break was going on. I was like, I was just enjoying it. Like, wow.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Wow. I be forgetting that I'm in an interview. I'm like, it's coming.
I love it. Well, that's actually one of my original songs. So thank you. I appreciate that you like the music too.
I loved it. That was great. Wow. I didn't even know. See, I didn't even know that. So that was very honest of me. I did not know that.
No. Well, I will say this. If there's anything I know I'm going to get from you, that is honesty. That is, and I appreciate that. You hear me?
Real energy and everything. Of course.
Yeah, that's what what did I say? We want unapologetic. We want transparent. That's what we want. That's what I want. I don't want it any other way, because let's be real. Let's be honest about it. We're sharing with our family members. And as I was telling you, that's what we do here. We talk about everything. There's some conversations that you probably might not want to have, but we talk about everything here. And I want them to know, you and know who you are. And I mean, I'm not a smoke and mirrors person. I'm not her. I don't live that way. So I'm glad that you're not either, because then this would be a totally different experience. And we don't want that either. We don't want that. So, MUGZY, since I am over here sulking that I missed MCFLY Fest, and as you can tell, Chloe is upset that she did too. You did, make me feel better when you told me that I will be able to go on the site and I'll be able to get my cup and my t-shirt too, right? The t-shirt will be on the site.
Yes, of course.
Okay. You listen, I'm asking.
Come on.
Listen.
How can you not have this shirt? You got to be able to sip and fill your shirt. Don't spill on the shirt, but come on.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. I need to at least say that I was a part of this year in some way, so that I can be prepared for 23 for, MCFLY Fest 23. But can you please repeat for our family members your social media information, please, so we can all be prepared?
So I'm actually MUGZY MCFLY on everything. At MUGZY MCFLY, my name. But on Instagram, I have 3 crucial social medias: MUGZY MCFLY, personal. Signed by MCFLY is the brand, the business, and MCFLY Studios. All these are in my bio for MUGZY MCFLY. MCFLY Studios is actually where I'm at now. It's my flagship / creative place. The room I'm in right now, I print and create clothing for me and other brands and anybody that needs it in any shape or form. The room over there, I sell my clothing, sneakers, slides, everything else, accessories. And upstairs is content creation where we do photo shoots. I'm building in actual recording studio and a podcast area.
Nice. Wait, so do you record? Are you a recording artist as well?
No, I don't record. I've always been infatuated with music, but I don't know. I just wanted to help the artist more than be the artist.
Okay.
That's one thing. Even though I do good public speaking and hosting and emceeing for the most part, but I don't DJ or actually music.
No,
I always kind of wanted to though. But
that's appreciated. Well, I mean, listen, I don't doubt that it may be an avenue that you do explore. I don't doubt it.
I feel like with the festival and like certain showcases I've done, I want to be the voice to help bring them together instead of being that person. I'd rather be the microphone, speak through me, and
I love that. I love that. I tell you. When is your birthday? I'm just curious to know.
I am October 2nd. I'm a Libra. I am all about balance.
Yes, Libra. I'm the Scorpio. I'm at the other end. I'm October 30th when you were, so I get that.
I was supposed to be born the 30th.
You were supposed to be born October 30th?
I was due like late the 30th, almost the 31st. That's when I was due. And I was like, I ain't staying here any longer. I got clothes to make. I need some kids right now.
Those kids are calling. Wait, so now talk about like sneakers. I really want to know, like when you thought about designing sneakers, how did that come about? I get t-shirts, I get like, coming up with a design, but sneakers, that's a whole nother thing, talking about shoes.
Well, first, because my first love in fashion was footwear, I feel like it's only right it comes full circle. And lastly, on another scale, just like everything else is kind of simpler. Like anybody can make pants, not as easy shirts, and like anybody can enter my field today and do that. But for someone to enter my field and have their own sneaker in multiple sizes and unique and from scratch, there's still many people that I'm an anomaly. I'm a blue moon, and I like that.
I like that for you. What kind of advice do you have for those that are up and coming and are in that position?
So I feel like anybody that wants to do clothing, number one, just make sure you love it. Don't do it for money. Do it because you love it. Because the first few years are really tragic. You got to do, anybody. Well, I'll be more general than clothing. Anything you want to do, make sure you love it. And I'll give you the most basic advice, which is not as basic as you think. Treat your passion, your creative journey like school. Go to school for 4 years. You're not expected to make any money. You're not expected to pay a bunch of bills. You're expected to mess up. You're expected to learn. With this side, do the same thing. By year 3, I promise you, if you put as much hours, if not more, that you would have done to your schoolwork, you will succeed. I promise.
That's interesting. So where do you begin? Like, where do you begin when you're designing a new product? Let's say sneakers. How would that process go for you?
So designing anything, you completely brainstorm or brain release. Boom, the storm comes. Everything I could possibly. I want flying sneakers that light up, that self-tie. Now, that's the dream. I might design it. Then I go to reality. I can't do that, or I can't afford that. Financial and just impossible. Yeah, I could do sneakers that look like that. Might not light up, but they're comfortable. They look futuristic. Now, who do I know that can make that for me and it's something I can afford? Then I start compromising. Like, okay, they have this sole already. The sole I want costs this much. All right. What limitations? All right, if you do that, the sneaker will fall apart. So now I have the basis. If I do this, everybody won't like it. It will just be me. I gotta kind of with the footwear. I might more so appease to the general crowd because it's way harder to sell than a t-shirt. Anybody will wear a t-shirt. Anybody will wear a hat, but sneakers is a whole different thing. So once you start eliminating what you can and can't do, once you get the understanding of what's possible, then you start, all right, what makes more sense logically, physically, mentally, comfort-wise, and everything. And that's how it goes. It's just an ongoing conversation. It just doesn't stop.
So with regard to this, I'm going to mix apples with oranges. With regard to this COVID compromised existence that in which we're living now, what are some of the good and not so good experiences you had as a result of the pandemic?
All right. First off, the pandemic was amazing sales-wise because I was outside, even when they said not to be outside, because I had a store that was like in Westchester. That's like 25 minutes out. And I had this same printing machine in that store that I had to maintenance every 3 days at least or it mess up. So I was granted access to the mall, and I am legend. I was the only person I seen outside for the first couple of months, but I never really stayed inside. I probably stayed inside for maybe like 4 days, and I was like, I need to go to my machine. Like, all right, these are protocols you got to do. I never legit, like some people been inside for 2-3 weeks. I never did that. I had to take care of my investment.
Right. What did that look like? What did that feel like for you?
It felt cool actually, because it's like no traffic. It was just cool. Like they tell you one thing and I'm outside. Like, no, that's not true. Like, I'm outside. No animals aren't running wild on the highway. You know, I'm outside. It's cool. You know, it was very cool actually. I'm not gonna wish back on it, but it was cool. So with that, stores closing and everything closing, I was like the man, because if you needed clothing, I could get it to you. The lines between are odd. You can order online, you can pick up, you can meet me. I was with everything. So my clientele grew, and anybody that was with me already, and one thing that had me up is that I had a significant amount of inventory before everything happened. So anybody that, even big stores, they didn't have, but I did. So I won automatically with that. And then they started paying people, so their paycheck will come to me.
Right.
So, and then it was actually the birth. And then the other hand, the graphic designer and, you know, helping people make their brands. Everybody was thinking of ways to make money because they didn't have a job. I probably made the first 2 months of COVID over 150 logos.
Wow.
Easily. Not even batting an eye. So I was making stuff for people. Plus I can make a machine. So I have a machine I can make clothing. So I can make clothing for people for their business or whatever. So both business was booming. The bad side of it was the store wasn't doing good because the store was closed, and then they had all these restrictions when it finally opened back up. A lot of the brands that were in the store, because the store was a house to a bunch of brands, not just mine at the time.
Okay.
They kind of all fell off. So it kind of destroyed my vision of what I wanted the store to be. So like I had that store for us, not just my brand to stand up, because it would have been just named McFly. Or McFly if it was just me. So that I kind of lost the store in that. Well, I gave it up, but it just wasn't my vision anymore because of the pandemic. But that was really it. That was the pros and the cons.
Do you sew?
I've learned to sew, and that was it.
Nice.
I've learned to sew so I can speak the language.
That makes sense. I was curious to know. I know with regard to being able to manufacture product. I mean, I'm sure that was a huge, as you just said, advantage that you had product and you could do what you needed to do.
Anything that I do, I try to learn as much about it. I learned that, you know, we have this stigma of like you want to do everything yourself, but you shouldn't, because that's not how you become rich and successful and stuff. So I love fashion, but I didn't like sewing. And I used to be like, how does that make sense? But it does make sense, because a lot of the big designers that we all wear, they don't make this stuff. They come in the room and they see designers and say yes, yes, no, no, yes. Change that to red. And that's what the big designers do. They don't even touch it. So I learned that I want to learn to sew so I can speak the language. I can look at a stitch and be like, oh, this is a double stitch. This won't come out. This is good. I know when you're selling me garbage instead of anything else. I just learned to speak the language. Now I can speak the language, I tell you what to do, and that's it. But you're always a student of the game. You're always learning.
You should be.
Yeah, if not,
you should be. I mean, it's cyclical. It's a never-ending process. I'm sorry to have interjected, but you should be. If this is what you do and who you are, you should be a student. Forever, a professor as well, but a student always. Family, stay with us because we're going to take a very short commercial break, and we will be right back.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
We're often influenced by what we see or hear on social media. Beware of disinformation campaigns targeting Black communities by using cultural issues to incite divisions, spread false information, and negatively influence public opinions. We're in this together, and together we can stay informed and empowered. Learn more at nbcit.org. This public service announcement is from the National Black Cultural Information Trust.
I'll be here to hear what's on your mind. Take this time to talk and get it right. You know I'll be there all your life. When you need me, I'll be by your side. By your side. And every day is a different day. Everything is in everything. Even when you think things will never ever be the same. Don't be scared of the world. I'll be here to stay. By your side. Even when your heart ain't listening, or your mind takes you a different way, towards a different path. All you gotta do is sit and ask. When you need me, I'll be by your side.
When the adults in a child's life talk early and often about the dangers of underage drinking, the message gets stronger every time.
I'll be by your side.
Talk. They hear you.
Email from school about the incident today.
Scary.
Tell me about it. Did you have any idea that was going on?
None. I mean, you saw Derek at the game last night, too. Did you have a clue?
No, but teachers like me, parents, we don't always know as much as you guys do. Kids hear first about what's going on with other kids.
Half the time, it's rumors.
It can be hard to tell sometimes, but if you're ever concerned about a friend who's having trouble with alcohol, prescription drugs, bullying, violence, anything, you need to tell an adult. Mom or me, a teacher, coach, school counselor, someone you know and trust.
Dad, no kid is gonna tell an adult about that kind of stuff.
I get it, but if we don't know, we can't help. Speaking up about a problem, that's what helping a friend is all about.
Hey family, I'm Carol Riddick.
And I'm Donavan S, and we're the hosts of Love and Life, a new show about,
love and life.
This show is an informative, entertaining, and refreshing take on the hard conversations about love and life.
Each day, we'll provide real facts and honest opinions on dating, sexual health, casual, and committed relationships.
These late night conversations will be served on a judgment-free platter and seasoned with unapologetic realness.
So join us Sunday night through Thursday night at midnight on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent black media.
Welcome back, family. You're tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. We've been talking with none other than MUGZY MCFLY. I just love his name. Oh my goodness, I keep saying it. In any event, MUGZY has been filling us in on his world of creativity. And it's a pretty interesting world, if I might say so myself.
Thank you so much.
It really, really is. I want to go back to something you said as we're coming to the close of the show. There's something that stuck with me, and I want to go back to it because I read that you were able to grow your brand with no investors.
None at all.
MUGZY. Now, you talked about a superpower, but that's one you did not share. Okay, you did not tell us because I don't know what tree you have.
So it's so funny. I will say I stole the idea. Well, not the stole the idea, but the business plan. I know a lot of brands. I feel like ownership and owning my brand is very important. At this point, if I cannot reach my next level without giving up ownership, I really don't want to at all. But I've reached a point where I'm more about having the vision and the reach and the positivity and everything move more than it being all about me. But end of the day, I will always have majority because it's my child, no matter what. Even though my main objective is to own it 100% outright. But if I can do things that I can't do in this lifetime with help, I'll do it. But when I first came out, of course, not having a job or anything, and besides just having parties, I read a story of a group of college kids that maxed out their credit cards to make inventory. And I was like, oh, maxed out my credit card, barely had $1,000 on it, my first credit card, my first credit limit. And I was like, this got to flip somehow, some way. And here I am now. This. That's really all it was.
Wow.
I maxed it out. Who cares about this credit score right now? I barely have a credit score. Let's just max this out.
Well, I mean, again, that's belief, that's faith, that's divine orchestration. When you talk about
I had to know that that's what I want and that I was going to achieve it and that I'll be able to pay it off 100 times over and be able to raise my limit eventually and all that stuff. So
your first article of apparel, was that a t-shirt?
Yes, technically, the first article of apparel was a t-shirt. The first thing I sold was a phone case. And the reason why, I don't know how I knew these things because it wasn't from school at the time. Shirts is cool, but I believe that you might not have to you wear the shirt once, twice. Sometimes people will wear it once and you might not see it again because they got a picture. But this is always with you.
Always.
We always see this.
Always.
I changed everything today, but this ain't changed. So now, where's the real estate? Right here. I need this real estate. So once it was probably iPhone 3 or 4, made a case for that. That's before they had the 2 sizes in the iPhones. So at least I have a year and a half married to this size. And I did that. It was a cheap alternative just to sell the brand, to get awareness. And it was cool. Every time I go to a party, I told you I wear the outfit. Got my little phone.
Yeah.
Got my little phone. It's like, oh, that's what that is.
You know what? This brain of yours, I tell you. Let me ask you this let me see. really quickly, what would you say has been the most unusual experience you've had?
The most unusual.
Yeah.
Unusual.
Mm-hmm.
I probably. Oh, well, yeah. This got to be like near the top. It's when it comes with people. I was gonna say at first that somebody I grew up with asked me to talk to their kid because the kid was a fan of mine, which was like, whoa.
Oh, wow.
That was. But the most unusual thing that tops that is my mother. She Googles me. She doesn't follow me on socials. She Googles me so she can stay up to date. That's what she tells my family. And I'm like, you're crazy. You can just call me. But whatever. So she's watching an interview of mine at work. And someone I know sees her. And he's like, why are you watching MUGZY interview for? And she's like, this is my son. And he's like, no, it's not. And she's like, what? And she has to FaceTime me. And she's like, this boy just told me I'm not your mom. And I look at this boy and I said, leave my mother alone. And it was cute, but it was just like, someone legit didn't believe my mother was my mother.
That is so crazy.
It also happened to my cousin, but my mother was on the top. Like,
yeah, I mean, your mother.
Yeah, like we look alike to an extent. Like, my mother.
But it's so cool. You said, leave my mother alone. And that's all you need to say. That's it. That's it. That's all you need to say.
My mother alone at work. And that was the end of that conversation. And I seen him again. I was like, boy, that was it. It was crazy.
Quite honestly, I don't think there's anything else to say. But the way you said it, you just leave my mother alone. Just leave her alone. I think that's so cute that your mom Googled you. I think that's adorable. Okay. That has to be so adorable. I heard her saying, look, this is my son. This is mine right here. This is my son. Look, come look at this. Come look at this. Come here. Look at this. I think that's so cute. That has to make you feel so good.
It's confirmation because that is the ultimate person you want to make happy.
Yes.
So when mommy's, happy, is kind of fulfilling. Like, I'm watching the news. I see you on the news. Like,
there's no greater feeling. There's no greater feeling. Well, let me tell you, I have to just say thank you so much. Thank you for coming to hang out with me, to hang out with us, for sharing your time, your energy, your attention, your honesty. You've just been an awesome guest, and I've enjoyed your company, as I know our family members have as well. And we hope that you'll come back to visit us some other time.
Of course, why not?
I do not want, the next time I see you to be at MCFLY Fest in 23, okay? Because let me tell you how I will bring my cup and my shirt from 22, and I will come right up to you. You hear me? I will do.
Security!
You're going to say, leave me alone. Right?
At work.
So family, it's time to bring to an end tonight's episode of Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. I would like to send just another additional special thanks to you, MUGZY, for sharing all of you. It was just awesome. Thank you, family, for doing so as well. We appreciate you as always. You just know I love y'all to pieces. Thank you to my alternating co-host, Donavan West, Niall Jacks, Tiffany Bacon, and the entire remainder of the WURD family. Family, have a great night, have a great morning, and have a great rest of your day. And remember, I tell you this all the time, we're in this together. So be good to you, but be good to those around you, okay? And make sure you join us at midnight from Sunday through Thursday for another edition of Love and Life on WURD. Be well, family, and God bless.
Hi, I'm Tanya Hopkins, aka the Food Griot, the host of Savory and Sweet, a new show about food, history, and culture. Savory and Sweet is a flavorful exploration of food, marinated in the Black experience, seared with history and brazen culture. Each week, I'll fold in conversations that center food and drink at the intersection of business, health and well-being, entertainment, education, and innovation. while separating the facts from fiction on the sometimes surprising origins of what we eat and drink. So join me, the Food Griot, and special guests for Savory and Sweet Food History and Culture every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. exclusively on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
You know, a lot of people say when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? Now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. When you don't know where to turn, let 211 be your guiding light.
How can I help you?
Our guides are ready to connect you with the help you need. For help with food, healthcare, mental health, and other resources. Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211. Get connected, get help.
Oh, hey, Julia. You ready to play band with us? I'm going to play my clarinet.
And Elmo's gonna play his drum. Drum loud.
Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still has to make music. Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
I remember this one moment. I ran to kind of the water edge, and my mom said something along the lines of like, now it's your turn. Take that first step. When I became a mom myself, I feel like my whole world changed. There's some light within her that makes me continue to do the climate science work that I do. You don't have to be a climate scientist to want to protect the earth. As moms, we care about our children and the environment they grow up in. And for Mia, I want you to know that I worked really hard to be a part of the change and to make it a better place for you.
Elmo.
Oh, hey, Julia. You ready to play band with us? I'm going to play my clarinet.
And Elmo's gonna play his drum. Drum loud.
Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still has to make music. Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
Lifting every voice till earth and heaven ring. This is WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD Philadelphia. Black